I'm a senior at Plant City High School, and before Jesus, I kind of was just going through the motions. I grew up in a Christian home. My family was, I would say we were very religious, but I don't think we really knew the difference between being religious and being Christ followers. So we kind of just went through the motions, and we went to church every Sunday and every Wednesday. And then we went through like this big trial, and our lives were completely changed. From then on, I saw the Lord working in my brother's life, and I was a little bit jealous of that, and I think that I just kind of decided to shut that out. And so I just ignored every time that I could feel the Lord calling me. In 8th grade, I started to develop an eating disorder. I think it came mostly from the fact that I had this distorted image in my mind of what a girl should look like. And so I really started comparing myself to the girls that I saw in magazines or on TV, and I don't really know how it started, but I just noticed myself saying I'm not really hungry right now, I think I can skip out on this meal. And then before I knew it, I was just throwing away lunches every single day, and I was skipping out on dinner, and I wouldn't eat breakfast. And it kind of got to the point where I noticed that I was hungry, but I chose not to because I was afraid that I would gain weight just from eating one meal. And I was really embarrassed to talk about it or to come out about it because I just didn't want anybody to think of me differently. I felt very alone because I didn't really feel like anybody understood the things that I was going through, or really that they cared almost. So I was kind of embarrassed to talk about the fact that I had this eating disorder. But I went to Ignite Weekend when I was about 14 years old, and I was looking for something, and I didn't really know that I was looking for something. And I remember during one of the nights we were having a time of worship, and something, the Lord, I guess he just called me to put my hands out, and so I did, and I went like that, and I could just feel his hands wrap around me, and it was so real feeling that I opened my eyes to see if there was somebody standing in front of me, and there wasn't. And so from that point on, I knew that I couldn't deny that there was a God anymore. I couldn't deny that he didn't love me or that he didn't want to help me. So he just told me you're my child, you're beautiful, and I love you. And I think that was the first time that I really believed those words from somebody. So after the service, I went and I talked to my small groups, and I confessed everything to them. I confessed about my eating disorder and how I'd been living this life of sin, and how I needed them to walk through this process of healing with me because I didn't think that I could handle it on my own. And so after I said everything and we finished meeting for the night, my friend Ashton pulled me aside and she said, I don't ever want you to feel like you've been going through these things alone. There are people who understand what you're going through, and they love you and they want to help you. And so she really helped me through that process of going from being embarrassed about this to not being embarrassed, and understanding that God can take you from this place and put you somewhere else that you need to be. From that point on, I started this process of just healing and praying to God, and he was like, hey, you need to eat right now. And it was kind of weird because it was like I was on this schedule, because I was so used to throwing my meals away or I'm just skipping out on it. He was like, no, I need you to do this. You're doing this for me. This is a story that I'm going to use in the future that you can tell others about me through. I think that's really inspired me so far, just to really tell girls that there's so much more to them than just your image, and that God created you with love. You are made with agape love. Now, I look back at that and I don't understand why I did that to myself, but I do understand that God did that for a purpose, and he worked through me with that because I've had the opportunity to talk to so many people and be able to share Christ with them through that. And I think that's been one of the most rewarding things in my life about it. And I can see Christ working through me now, just having the ability to share with others and talk to them about Jesus, and it's something that I wouldn't trade for anything.